today, my focus in this meditation is our health, our intentions, and our goals, and figuring out ways to align with our guidance or our divine light around our health. And I am going to invite you to participate in whatever way makes sense for you. I'm going to start with a little bit of background on the purpose of meditation, why we have offered these as a new sort of addition to some of the work that we do around health, wellness, meditation, mindfulness, mental health, that it's the idea that we use many tools to help with and navigate our mental health, our nutritional health, and to align with our physical bodies is something that we're very passionate about here. Over many years, we've seen continuously the situation where somebody's mental state impacts their nutritional health. For example, their mental state impacts their digestive health, or their anxiety might impact their ability to integrate, assimilate foods, or create food sensitivities or allergies, or vice versa, that they may have health conditions or whatnot that begin to deregulate their mental state, cause frustration, anxiety, tension. So it has never been lost on me that some of the reason that I was so interested in learning about mental health and nutrition and alignment had to do with the idea that we are one being. I am one being, and I can't separate the things I put into my body, whether that be the food I put in, from the things that I take in. And in our recent course, De-Stress, Declutter, we talked a lot about the things that we integrate into our system being much more than just the food that we eat. So it's the thoughts that we have, it's the social media that we take in, it's the stimulation from the world, it's the toxins in the environment. We are just a product of so much of what we intake. So when I think about meditation as a tool, I think about meditation as a way of cleansing and purifying our mind. And I say that because we do things to cleanse and detox and purify our body. We often talk about detoxes and cleanses for our systems or our liver. And meditation to me is a way of aligning our mental clarity and our thoughts to help bring the rest of our system into better alignment. Many times people say, I don't know how to meditate. I don't know what that means, or I don't know how to integrate that, or I just don't know how to have a regular discipline or practice of doing meditation. So one of the reasons we have offered an experience like this is for people to start to learn the benefits, but also how to integrate this possibly in a more cohesive way into their life. And I know for me, one of the things we talk about often at HartsSpace at our different events is accountability. So it's much easier for me to actually do the meditation if I sign up for a course to do a meditation and I show up like this, like you all did bright and early this morning. It will make me do it. When I go to a yoga class, when I go for a walk with a friend, I'm much more likely to just commit and do something and follow through. And then I can build those habits into my own life. So I know some of you already meditate, and I know some of you may be new to it, and all of that is a fine starting point. I was listening to a podcast on the way down, so I'll just finish with this, and then I'll invite us to start into the structured meditation that I have prepared. The podcast that I was listening to this morning was interesting in talking about mental training. And I really appreciate the idea that mental training is a byproduct of meditation. That's been my experience in my life, that when I feel excessively fearful or chaotic or dysregulated or out of my body or dissociated, that one of the ways I can bring myself back into some sort of grounding alignment and deeper spiritual connection is training my mind. Our mind has a lot of power and it will race with thoughts, and it can be ultimately fairly destructive in terms of our usefulness, in terms of our balance. And so tools and techniques to train our minds are essential to helping with navigating a calm state of being. And so if we look at this practice that we're doing today as a way of training our mind and a tool that we can access at any time when our mind is like the little child that's like off on the swing set or digging in the dirt or doing something that is not productive for us, maybe ruminating about fear, maybe laying there at night and thinking about things that you can't do anything about. There are times where our mind really just sort of hijacks our whole spirit. And we feel as though we have no power over it. Meditation is a way to gain some of that power back. And also to gain some insight and clarity, because when we calm that wild mind and we get centered in ourselves, we often have our greatest inspirations, self-inspirations, which is what I wanted to direct this around, was goals around your health and using meditation to align with that. So you're welcome to sit, you're welcome to camera on, off, you're welcome to do whatever it is that feels good to you during this time. I'm going to take the next time and I'm going to share with you a meditation on your health. So once you're settled in, I just invite you to take a few breaths deep into your body, to ground yourself, and to be grateful for yourself showing up today to be with yourself, to be with us, to share in this community of practice. I hope for you that as you enter this practice that you come out just a few 30 minutes later and you feel the shift that meditation can bring with just a short amount of time in your day. Today, we're going to focus on setting health intentions and goals, things that help us deepen our spiritual connection to ourselves and our well-being, things that will counter the challenges or the problems that you may be facing. These may be health problems. These may be life problems. These may be emotional problems or not knowing what to do. Fear and discomfort will take us out of our center. So check in with your body. Make sure you're in a comfortable position. If you're not, feel free to adjust. You can sit. You can lay down. You can draw on a pillow. Close your eyes, open your eyes. The key is to be comfortable. It's like creating your own nest. A very useful tool for grounding and meditation is getting very comfortable and cozy and safe in your body. Because when we close our eyes and we go deep, feeling secure and safe in our environment is essential to being able to let go. So now we'll take a few deep breaths together. So breathe in through your nose. 1, 2, 3. Hold your breath. 1, 2, 3. And exhale slowly through your mouth. 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, breathe in. And hold. And breathe out through your mouth. We'll do that one more time. Breathing in. Holding. And breathing out. This act of having a longer exhalation than inhalation is part of relaxing our parasympathetic response. It's something that's accessible to you anytime when you need to feel more grounded. And our breath is our unifying point to center ourselves in our body. The breath is an amazing thing. It happens all day long without our guidance. It happens while we're sleeping. It's our deepest connection to this life force, breathing in the air from the world, connecting it to our body, and creating a whole host of living systems. And it's something that we pay minimal attention to most of the time. We draw our attention to our breath. We have a deep connection with ourselves. It's a great way to enter into any process of meditation. Let's start by taking a few minutes to release tensions in our body and come into this present moment. We'll start with a body scan. I want you to take a minute and focus on your feet. You can wiggle them around, crunch your toes together, stretch your toes out, maybe move them up and down. Then take a big inhale and imagine a warm, healing energy flowing into your feet, like a wax or warm sand, relaxing and soothing your feet. With each inhale and exhale, think about releasing any tension or discomfort in your feet. Wiggle them around one more time and then let them settle. Feel the heaviness and let them sink into the earth. And then inhale, thinking about your calves. You can tighten them up if you want. You can roll them from side to side. You can just imagine thinking about them. You don't have to move them at all. And as you inhale, bring that same warm energy into your calves. Picture that warmth coming up from those feet up into the calves. Take another big inhale. Moving that energy now up into your knees. Being grateful that we have knees that bend our legs. Maybe you have pain in your knees, offering some love and comfort. Being grateful for our bodies is such an important part of the process of living, the process of aging, the being in a body is understanding that it has gifts and limits at any time. Take a big inhale, bring that warmth into your knees, rising up all the way from your grounding in your feet and up your calves into your knees. And then imagine that warmth going up into your quads, into your upper legs. Again, being grateful for your legs, what they do for you. Maybe tightening them up, really, really tight, and then releasing. And try it one more time. Tighten your quads up as tight as you can go, and then release. Another way to activate that parasympathetic response in a physical way is tightening and loosening parts of the body in a very structured way, like a body scan. So now we can imagine continuing to move that energy up into your hips, your pelvis. Feel the warmth in that area, coming up and taking a big inhale. You can tighten up your buttocks and then release. You can wiggle your hips from side to side. Again, giving gratitude for this system that keeps us moving. And picturing that warmth again up through your feet, up through your legs, and now into your abdomen and your pelvis area. And now focus for a second on that abdomen, taking a breath in. Abdomen is such a emotional part of our centers, of our chakra balance, our centers, and it's also a hugely important part of our nutritional center, this piece of integrating health, nutrition, wellness into our bodies. So much happens in that core region of our body, in the stomach. We've got our stomach, we've got our small intestine, we have our colon, we have our entire process of digestion happening within this core region of our body. And we also hold a lot of our emotional center, our serotonin regulation, anxiety, tension. When people say butterflies in our stomach, there's a reason, because our mental, emotional health, our stress response, our fear response is directly connected to our ability to regulate that system. So just take a minute and send a little bit of healing energy, a little bit of love for your abdomen, a little bit of love for your internal organs. Maybe you have a mixed relationship with the stomach region of your body. Being grateful for all the things that it does for you. Take a big deep breath and imagine that heat, that warm, that loving energy, that light going into that abdomen. Offering whatever healing, whatever energy it might need. And now moving up into your chest area. The same, taking a deep breath. Feeling that warmth and that energy and that light coming up into your chest and your heart. I love when Tara Brach does a meditation. She talks often about the heart space, that center of our chest, that region where we feel and integrate the emotional energy of our lives. And also being grateful for that heart that beats just like our breath, whether we're focused on it or not, it just beats, whether we're sleeping, when we're moving, when we're doing something that's more intense, it beats faster, regulating that blood flow through our entire bodies. The system of our body is amazing when we connect with it. Bringing another breath in and taking that into your back and your shoulders. Maybe doing a little shoulder roll to feel that presence. Maybe a little tightening of your shoulders, a little wiggling, getting really just in touch and grounded in your body. Again, offering some gratitude for the shoulders that carry some of our load in life. The shoulders that hold our arms up, keep our body structured together. If you feel like it, you can even put your hands on your shoulders, you can touch them. There's something about the loving presence of our own touch, of the touch of others, but our own touch that can also be very healing. So feel free to give yourself a little hug or grab your shoulders. Feel that warmth from your hands Or just imagine that warmth that we've been sending up our bodies, moving from our heart space into our shoulders. And now take a breath and feel the warmth of that energy moving down your arms. Again, you can feel it moving, or you can wiggle your arms around a little bit, bend them around, feel your elbows, offering a little gratitude for the arms that do a lot of our work in life, whether that's on the computer, whether that's driving, whether that's eating, writing, moving. Our arms do a lot of moving, they do a lot of work, and they carry a lot of that energy. They bring the sense of the touch of our fingertips and carry it up with that energetic flow. Breathing into your hands, carrying that warmth and that energy out of your arms into your hands. Really clenching them up and making some fists or wiggling them around. Again, just getting into the practice of being in this body that you have, being grateful for these hands that you have, the work that they do, what they've carried you through, what they'll do for you today, what they've probably already done for you this morning. And then relaxing those hands. And lastly, we're going to move up into our head. Perfect example of where we live with a lot of the thoughts and the tension and the things, the way that you're listening to me right now, all of it's processed in this small portion of our body, in this brain. This brain has so much power over this whole other system that we just went through, this little brain, and it needs training, just like my muscles need training. It needs work, it needs love, it needs encouragement, and ultimately, one of the biggest tools that you can use to help yourself with your mental state is this practice of being mindful. Meditation in so many realms is just another effort or another tool in the toolbox of being more mindful and present in life. So today we're going to work with that mind. So imagine all that heat and all that energy that we've cultivated throughout our body. Now let your body just relax deeply. And we'll leave our bodies still for the duration of this meditation. And now we will bring all that heat and that energy up into our brain, up into our head, to our eyes, to our ears, and into the crown of our heads. And now take a big deep breath into your brain. Feel that oxygen. The brain loves oxygen. And then breathe out through your mouth. 1, 2, 3. I want you to take a minute. If your mind has wandered during this process, that's okay. That's part of what happens when we get relaxed. If you've gotten dozy or fallen asleep, that's okay. Being gentle with yourself during a process like this is incredibly important. There's no one right way. There's no failing. This is just an act of being mindful. You just being here this morning is your first step in being mindful. The rest is all just icing on this cake. We are here doing this, and that effort in and of itself is a success. Everything else that you get from this experience is just more layers of experiencing the process. So there is no perfection with meditation. So take a moment and transition now. We're going to take our mind into our health, intention, and goal. Health can mean a lot of things. It can be a physical health. It can be a mental health. It can be emotional health. And it can be spiritual health. Many times, it's all of these things. I want you to take a moment and pick for yourself 1 or 2 health intentions or health goals that you have. Again, it can be a physical health goal, meaning I want to walk more. I want to feel stronger. It can be a mental health goal. I want to have less anxiety. I want to lessen the fear. I want to feel more grounded. It can be an emotional health goal. I want to feel more empowered. I want to feel less moody. Or a spiritual health goal. I want to feel more in alignment. I want to have more connection with my bigger purpose. Those are just examples to help your own goals solidify. And there's no right or wrong goal. You can change it as we go along. But for the moment, just pick one or two goals around your health. Once you've settled one or two goals, I want you to focus on those goals for a moment. I want you to imagine expanding upon it a little bit more. What does that goal actually mean? We often use words like, I want to be healthier, or I want to walk more. You've heard about SMART goals, making things more specific. So in this moment, I just want you to elaborate in your mind around those goals. So maybe I want to be less moody. Well, what does that look like? What does that mean? In my mind, that would mean, well, I want to express less of those moods that don't need to be expressed, for example. Or being intentional about the practices that I use to regulate some of those moods. Those would be ways I might expand upon. So with your goals, think bigger about them. Notice where you're having resistance or fear, or not believing in yourself, even around your own goals. Maybe I've said that a billion times that I'm going to do a certain thing. Having self-doubt is an unhelpful emotion when it comes to regulating our mind and setting goals. So take each of those goals, whether you have 1, 2, 3. I want you to imagine each of those goals as little eggs, kind of like Easter eggs. Picture what size, what shape, what color they are. I want you to imagine that you have your 2 goals, 2, 3, 1, however many goals you have your eggs. Picture their colors, picture their weight. And then I want you to hold them in your hands. I want you to imagine a bright light that you can surround your eggs with. That light has energy. It's empowering. And I want you to silently say to yourself, I intend to nurture my body with healthy foods, regular exercise, or I intend to cultivate a peaceful mind using daily meditation. I want you to set some intentions for your goals. What is your intention to do with your eggs, with your goals? Create a statement for yourself. I want you to imagine a nest. You can build a little nest for your eggs. It can be a traditional kind of nest like straw, hay, grass, or it can be a nest like a little pillow, or it can be a nest like a pretty bowl, a ceramic bowl, or a chair or a blanket. I want you to find a place to put those intentions. Somewhere in your mind that you can imagine setting those goals where they will be safe and nurtured and fed, where no one will find them, but you will know they're there. And you can take a minute to set your eggs into their nest. This is the way that our goals and our dreams and our visions can hatch. We can create intentions much like an egg. We can set them into a nurturing, incubative environment. And then we can slowly do the disciplines, do the work, do the actions, take the steps, just like when a hen might lay on an egg. We can take the intentions to wait for these health goals, these health light goals to hatch. But we can't force it to happen. We can't always go in and make that happen with our will. What we can do is we can set the intention, and then we can start to do the practices which will cultivate the environment where those intentions can come to light in their own time. It's an important part of setting intentions. It's easy to set an intention for a certain goal and then feel frustrated easily when it's not happening on our time frame, the way we think it should happen, and then we can become self-defeating again. We can slip into that yo-yo that I know many of you are familiar with, where we set a goal, we do really well with it, we, eat really well, we drink a lot of water, we walk every day, whatever our health intentions or goals are, or I stay away from that moodiness that I'm trying to stay away from, and then I have a slip and I snap at my husband, and then I feel like, oh, forget it all. It's really easy to work hard at an intention and then give up. But can you imagine what would happen for those eggs if that hen just one day said, well, they're not hatching, I'm just not going to come back. I'm just done with these goals. These goals are not working anymore. As opposed to how do we show up in our own lives with this nurturing presence, this awareness that time will take time, and that sometimes things are going to happen on their own timing and in their own right, and it's not entirely up to us. Now, I want you to visualize yourself achieving these goals. Imagine yourself as healthy and full of energy. Imagine what would happen when those goals hatched. What would that look like for you? What are the emotions you would feel associated with what you might experience with those goals after they've hatched? Take a few minutes to really sit in that. Take each one, if you have a couple. Picture what life is like, how you feel, what the experience of having that intention come alive could be like. I really want you to imagine that experience as a feeling in your whole body. One of the things that embodied presence really means for me that I learned over years is when I experience joy, I can experience joy just in my brain, which is great. But there's something really resonant when I can experience an emotion, a joy, even a negative or a hard emotion, when I can experience that emotion in my whole body. That's a real feeling of embodiment and presence within my body. So imagine these intentions or these goals really resonating through that heat, that energy of your whole being. That's why we started with that body scan. Like, what would you feel like from your feet all the way up to your head as you experience this health? this goal, these intentions that you have. Now let's take a breath or two to just really get into that place of feeling your intentions, your goals alive in this being, knowing that it's possible. Take a big deep breath in through your whole body. And then another deep breath out through your mouth. 1, 2, 3, 4. One more big deep breath in through your nose. 1, 2, 3. And a deep breath out through your body, all the way from your feet and your fingertips out through your mouth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now imagine that there's a divine light above you, and it's radiating warmth and love and healing energy. This light represents the divine source, whatever that means to you, the universe, your higher self. Just visualize this light descending and entering in through the top of your head and filling your entire being with its radiant glow. As that light flows through you, let it touch any of those parts in your being, in your body, address any of the problems or challenges that you're facing, anything that's getting in the way of those intentions that you have. Let that light touch those little pieces, those little parts of you, the fears, the challenges, the body aches. Imagine the light is illuminating and dissolving any of the blocks or your fears or your negative emotions. Feel that light bringing clarity, guidance, and solutions to your problems. Listen for that inner voice, that still small voice. What is it telling you about these health intentions? Trust that process. Know you can come back to this supported moment at any time when you're challenged. Put your hand on your heart, maybe, if you're feeling connected to these intentions, connected to the solution, any guidance. Just take a moment to express gratitude for this moment, this morning together, for that divine light, for the healing energy that it's poured over you. Silently say thank you. Thank you for the guidance. Thank you for the support. You can affirm your faith in the process if you want, if you choose, by saying something like, I trust this divine light to guide and support me in all areas of my life. Say that if you like, say it however you like. Make your own words. I'll say it one more time. I trust in the divine light to guide and support me in all areas of my life. You might try adding in a positive affirmation, something like, I'm healthy, I'm strong, I'm full of vitality, I'm supported, I'm surrounded by divine light and love. I have what I need to get through these challenges. Meditations like these can be very useful, centering ourselves with our challenges, realizing we're not alone, that all people have challenges, and that there's a bigger energy of support available to you whenever you need it. And I want you to take a minute, bringing your awareness back to this present moment, bringing your mind attention back into your body, leaving your eggs in their nest, knowing that you will nurture them to do the hatching they need. And in this moment, coming back to enter into the day, wiggle your fingers and toes, maybe gently stretch your body, move around, sit up if you've been laying down at your own pace, open your eyes if they've been closed. Take a few deep breaths. Slowly return to this present moment, thinking about how you'll carry this sense of peace or clarity or support into your day. If it's helpful to you, you can take a moment after we're finished to jot down some notes, reflections. Feel free to share those if you like. Share those with me or in our group. And now I just invite you to return to this moment with us. But thank you for joining us this morning. You're welcome to take some time to yourself to reflect. If anybody wants to pop on to share anything, we're really, really grateful that you came today to share in this meditation with us. And we hope to continue on doing some gathered meditations together to practice some of these tools. We're going to have a recording of this, so if you would like to utilize any of the language or the meditation from today, that will be accessible to you. And that's all we have.